Good day everyone, we are the group 11 and we will tackle about the types of feet in poetry. We will try our very best to pronounce the example words the right way, and I hope that you will learn something from us. So please bear with us, and now let us start. Types of feet. The literary device foot is a measuring unit in poetry, which is made up of stressed and unstressed syllables. The stressed syllable is generally indicated by a vertical line or a slanting line, whereas the unstressed syllable is represented by a cross or the uppercase letter U. But in our examples later, we highlighted the words that is stressed for better understanding and better visualization. So the combination of feet creates meter in poetry. Later, these meters are joined for the composition of a complete poem. Therefore, a foot is the formative unit of the meter. Basically, the foot and the meter are always together in poetry. So now let us move on to another slide. In poetry, there are various types of foot, each of which sounds differently. Some of the basic types of foot are: first, we have the iamb. Iamb is a combination of unstressed and stressed syllable. Da-doom, da-doom, da-doom. So, iamb is one of the common types of feet to appear in poetry. So now let us take a look at the example. We have equate, destroy, belong, delay are simple iambic words because the first syllable E, DE, BE, and DE are unstressed syllables. And the second syllable quate, stroy, long, and lay are the stressed syllables. So we also have the extended iamb that contains 3 or 4 syllables with an added end syllable that is unstressed. For example, the words revising, surprising, intended, belligerent. They are extended iamb because they contain 3 or 4 syllables and the added and unstressed end syllables ing, ed, and ent. So now let us move on to the next types of feet. So now we have trochee. It is a combination of stressed and unstressed syllables. Doomda, doomda, doomda. So trochee is the opposite types of feet of iamb because iamb is a combination of unstressed syllable and stressed syllable, while the trochee is a combination of stressed syllable and unstressed syllables. So let us take a look at the examples of trochee. First, we have happy, hammer, nugget, double, injure, roses. So those are some of the examples of a trochee words. From a heavy syllable to a light syllable. So now let us move forward to another types of feet. So now we have spondy. Spondy is a combination of 2 stressed syllables. Doom, 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 doom. So if iamb is a combination of unstressed syllables and stressed syllables, and trochee is a combination of stressed syllables and unstressed syllables, spondy is a combination of 2 stressed syllables. So let us take a look at the examples. We have here bus stop, toothache, bookmark, handshake, truthful. So those are some of the examples of spondy types of feet. Now let us move on to another types of feet to be discussed by Miss Nice Labadan.
So now let's proceed to anapest. So anapest is a combination of 2 unstressed and stressed syllables. So an anapest is a type of a metrical foot. The syllabic pattern for an anapest consists of two unstressed syllables followed by stressed syllables. So anapest can be seen throughout English poetry and verse plays, but they are most frequently employed in comic verse, such as limericks. So we have here the anapest example, understand. So the word understand is an anapest because it consists of three syllables and the syllabic breakdown is an unstressed syllable, un, followed by another unstressed syllable, there, and concluding with the stressed syllable stand, understand. So other anapests include comprehend, contradict, serenade, engineer. So poets and verse playwrights utilize anapest for some same reason that writers make use of any component of matter. They help to create rhythm. So the syllabic pattern of repeated anapest or anapest varied with other metrical feet brings melody and harmony to literary works. This musical quality helps keep readers engaged. So anapest can also serve as mnemonic devices as repeated patterns of sound are useful in memorization. So as anapest with a strong syllable, anapistic meter also is useful for creating strong rhymes. So now let's proceed to dactyl. So dactyl is a combination of stressed and two unstressed syllables. So a dactyl is a three-syllable metrical pattern in poetry in which a stressed syllable is followed by two unstressed syllables. So the word poetry itself is a great example of a dactyl with stressed syllable falling on the po, followed by the unstressed syllables e and tree, poetry. So another example, we have strawberry, carefully, merrily, mannequin, tenderly, prominent. So dactyls were used to compose Greek epic poetry such as Iliad and Odyssey. So the Latin word of dactyl is dactylus, which itself has stress pattern of dactyl, dactylus, dactylus. So anapest and dactyls are frequently confused. Both are three-syllable metric feet that contain two unstressed syllables and one unstressed syllables. However, the syllabic stress pattern for anapest and dactyls are reversed. In anapest, the final syllable is stressed and it is preceded by two unstressed syllables, while dactyls stress the first syllable, leaving the second and third syllable unstressed. So now, let's proceed to the two far less common types of metrical feet that are the ampibroch and pyrrhic. So first we have the ampibroch. So ampibroch is a combination of unstressed, stressed, and unstressed syllable. So ampibrochs are always made up of three syllables, like anapest and dactyls are. So it occurs when the poet places an accented syllable or stressed syllable between two unstressed or an unaccented syllable. So ampibrochs were often used in Latin and Greek poetic writing. Famously, ampibrochs are also used in limericks. Example of it are the conditions for breakfast, spoil something, I leave now, reclining, Who thinks that before I run somewhere, well, sleep now? So amphibrachs are a form of meter that is less commonly used in poetry. But when a writer does include the syllabic pattern in their writing, it creates a very musical sounding rhythm, one that appeals to those writing ballads. So the up and down motion of the accent helps carry the reader from the word to the next. So maintaining a steady and interesting rhythm. So like most metrical patterns, amphibrachs have fallen out of favor since the advent of the modernist movement. But that doesn't mean that there are no contemporary poets using this kind of meter today.
So next we have the metrical feet or metrical foot. So what does that mean? It is a group of 2 or 3 syllables forming the basic unit of poetic rhythm. So the adjectival forms of metrical names are, so we already know the meaning of these words or these metrical names because it is already explained, so let's just read it. First is we have the iamb, it will become iambic. Trochee, it will become trocheo. I don't know if I pronounce it well. Anapest becomes anapistic. Dactyle becomes dactylic. Spondy becomes spondic. So next is the terms. These terms. Line length is referred to in the following terms. So if the line has 2 feet, it is called diameter. If 3 feet per line, it is called trimeter. If we can see 4 feet per line, we will call it as tetrameter. If it's 5 feet per line, you can call it pentameter. 6 feet per line, you will call it hexameter. If there are 7 feet per line, you can call it heptameter. And you will call it octameter if it has 8 feet per line. So next, we are going to learn the common metrical feet or common metrical foot. So first one, we're going to learn the iambic pentameter. What is iambic pentameter? Iambic pentameter is defined as a meter in poetry consisting 5 iambic feet. Usually, those 5 pairs is first unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. So iambic pentameter is the most common meter used in poetry writing, and it is often or can be used or seen in poetries of many poets and writers. So one of those many poets and writers are William Shakespeare and Robert Browning. So the first example is Sonnet 71 by William Shakespeare. So, no longer mourn for me when I am dead. Then you shall hear the surly sullen bell. Give warning to the world that I am fled from this veil world with veilest warmth to dwell. So as you can see, it has 5 iambic feet in every line. So in here, the first one, no longer, is the first iambic feet. Mourn, the second one. For me, the third one. When I, the fourth one. And am dead is the 5th. So in every line, we can really see 5 iambic feet. The second one is The Last Duchess by Robert Browning. Let's read. That my last duchess painted on the wall, looking as if she were alive, I call. That piece a wonder now. Fra Pandolf's hands worked busily a day, and there she stands. So in every line also, we can see 5 iambic feet. Okay. So we have that my last do, chess, and then pain, then Ted on, and then the wall. So it is, the meter is 5 in each line. Okay? Next, we have the iambic diameter. So iambic diameter is defined as a meter in poetry consisting of 2 iambic feet, or 2 pairs of first unstressed and second stressed syllable. So the example here is Alexander's Feast by John Dryden. With ravished ears, the monarch hears, assumes the god, affects to nod. So clearly, in one line, we only have 2 iambic feet. It's called iambic diameter. So that's just very simple. So let's go to the next one, which is the iambic trimeter. So what is iambic trimeter? Iambic trimeter is defined as a meter in poetry consisting 3 iambic feet. From the word itself, tri, it's 3. So again, it's 3 pairs of first unstressed and second stressed syllable. So the example there is The Way Not Mine, O Lord, by Horatius Bonar. So let's read. The way not mine, O Lord, however dark it be, lead me by thine own hands. Choose out the path for me. So it's very easy again to identify. Again, it's 3 pairs of first unstressed and second stressed syllable. So here, the way, that's first, not mine, second, and O Lord is the third in line 1. So for line 2, we have however, that's the first unstressed. Okay, and then ear dark is the second, and then it be is the third. So, and then the fourth, and the third line, lead me by thine own hand. And then the fourth or last line, choose out the path and for me. So that's the iambic trimeter. Again, iambic trimeter is it consists of 3 iambic feet.
So now I am going to discuss iambic tetrameter and demonstrate points that follow this pattern. So let's start by defining first iambic tetrameter. So iambic tetrameter is defined as a meter in poetry consisting of 4 iambic feet. Iambic feet is 4 pairs of first unstressed syllable is followed by a stressed syllable. So to familiarize this pattern, we have here an example, The Lay of the Last Minstrel by Sir Walter Scott. As you can see, those lines have 4 unstressed and stressed syllable. The unstressed syllable was unhighlighted, and the bold one, or the highlighted words, are the stressed syllable. So This is how we read the poem. The way was long, the wind was cold. The minstrel was in fear and cold. The harp, his sole remaining joy, was carried by an orphan boy. Again, the way was long, the wind was cold. The minstrel was in fear and cold. The harp, his sole remaining joy, was carried by an orphan boy. So, we're going to read the unstressed syllable up to stressed syllable, and you will going to continue this style in 4 times in a line. So in every line, 4 times, you need to read the unstressed and stressed syllable words 4 times. That's how iambic tetrameter. So we have another example entitled King Lear by William Shakespeare. So as you can see, this poem doesn't use the iambic tetrameter consistently, but still we can make this an example of the poem who has iambic tetrameter. So I will going to read the whole poem still to maintain the flow of the poem. So here we go. And my poor fool is hanged. No, no, no life. Why should a dog, a horse, a rat have life? And thou no breed at all, thou'lt come no more. Never, 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 never. Pray you undo this button. Thank you, sir. Do you see this? Look on her, look, her lips, look there, look there. So, the poem itself actually didn't use consistently the iambic tetrameter. So, the next example. The Destruction of Sennacherib by Lord Byron I actually used iambic tetrameter consistently. So here we focus to read this. So let's start. The Assyrian came down like the wolf on the fold, and his cohorts were gleaming in purple and gold. And the sheen of the spears was like stars on the sea when the blue wave rose nightly on deep Galilee. Like the leaves of the forest when summer is green, the hosts with their banners at sunset were seen. Like the leaves of the forest when autumn hath blown. For the angels of that spread his wings on the blast, and their hearts but once heaved and forever grew still. Another example here is the Charge of the Light Brigade by Alfred and Lord Tennyson. So, half a league, half a league, half a league onward. All in the valley of death rode the 600. Forward the light brigade. Charge for the guns, he said. Into the valley of death rode the 600. So, those are the examples of the poems that used iambic tetrameter. So, next or lastly, the function of foot. So, what exactly the function of foot in poetry? So, the function of foot is to provide the basic structure for the meter in a verse, as it is based on the combination of either 2 or 3 syllables. This combination creates musical rhythm. Therefore, it is the use of feet that brings rhythm to poetry. The reason that poetry is differentiated from prose, without the repetition of the particular foot in a verse, poetry would be no different from prose, as the important elements of rhythm and musical quality will be missing in the absence of feet. So, that's all. We hope that we give you some informations that you will use in the future. So, thank you, and this is the end of our report.